So let's talk about artificial upwelling, which we briefly mentioned before. But remember that in this microalgae cultivation, we also mentioned iron. So iron fertilization gets discussed a lot, as we read in the research news article. It was tried wildly in the Canadian waters, maybe it was international waters. Either way, it created a lot of controversy, and scientists have gone out and done iron fertilization experiments. And there was an opinion, a strong opinion written by scientists led by Woodsole Oceanographic Institution, that iron fertilization does not work and should never be tried, but people are still planning on trying, and experiments are still going on, and this is still seen as a viable solution. Of course, the question is, you can drive, let's say, effectively enhanced photosynthesis, which can result in CO2 uptake, but the question is, what is the fate of that photosynthesized material? Does it really sink? Does it really just get consumed and released back through respiration, or does it get recycled back by microbes into inorganic carbon dioxide, which will then escape back, and so on and so forth. So artificial upwelling and downwelling are also ways to do these things. Infrastructure must withstand ocean environment when you do these things, like offshore drilling. So you have to have protection against storms, waves, tsunamis, whatever else that can hit them. So you have artificial upwelling that brings nutrients from the deep ocean to the sunlit region to support photosynthesis, but you also have trapped carbon from the deep ocean that is transported to the surface along with the water. This is like the artificial solubility pump, right? When you talk about solubility pump, we're talking about CO2 dissolved waters going down with whatever organic, inorganic material, and coming back up through upwelling, mixing, and so on and so forth. Biological pump is, of course, when you sink photosynthesized organic matter to the deeper oceans, or to recycle it back, and so on. So trapped carbon from the deep ocean can come up, but natural sinking of biomass can happen to the deep, cold, nutrient-rich water, where some of it will get respired by microbes in the sediment, biotubation, and so on. But some of it gets sequestered. In the artificial downwelling, same idea, that infrastructure must withstand ocean environment, and you have to go and read exactly how this happens. You can use pressure gradients. You have cold water at high pressure here. Pressure in the ocean increases by 1 atmosphere approximately for every 10 meters. So you have very high pressure here, and near surface you have similar to atmospheric sea level pressure. So can you use the pressure differences to accelerate flow up through the pipes, which is causing the artificial upwelling? And here you have artificial downwelling by pump, accelerates biomass sinking to the deep ocean. So here you are putting energy to take waters with rich photosynthesized organic carbon, and you're pushing it down deep into the ocean to create artificial sinking. All this sinking matter is called marine snow as a general term. So if you go deeper in the ocean below the euphoric zone, you would see lots of white matter that is just photosynthesized, consumed, respired organic matter that falls. There's a lot of life that lives on all these sorts of transformed material, and of course there are small zooplankton, large zooplankton, small fish, large fish, and so on as well. And the main thing to remember is that mesopelagic zone, light is very little. Oxygen can be high depending on where you are, because oxygen is lower near the surface oxygen is high near the surface because of photosynthesis and mixing. Then it gets to a minimum around 1 kilometer or so because of all the respiration, and then it can increase again because deep water sinking in the North Atlantic and so on can bring higher oxygen as well. So you have to worry about, and CO2 on the other hand is low here, increases and then remains steady down to deeper depths. Solubility increases with colder temperatures and pressure, of course, like a Coke can that we keep close, right? Cold and close. So monitoring systems and sensors to collect data and upkeep infrastructure, because this is a very active pumping system. Artificial downwelling by pump accelerates the biomass, as we said, and hopefully just stays there when you move it to deep enough. So again, life cycle analysis is needed on how you do it and how far it is from the coast and how you get power to that pump and how you can sustain it and so on and so forth. You may also have to worry about everything in the ocean getting biocontaminated, biofouled, because anything you put begins to have life growing on it, and then it becomes like a fad, which is a fish aggregating device, and so on and so forth. So a lot of technical details, but theoretically, obviously, this is a cute idea. So let's now come back and look at the next topic in ocean CDR, which is restoring living blue carbon. Blue carbon is a big idea now. Blue economy is picking up, but that has a lot to do with deep sea mining, which has lots of other issues. So let's stick to CDR for now and come back and talk about restoring living blue carbon in the next podcast.